Hey, so this is vlog number 2. I've decided on finally what to vlog about for this episode, whatever, this video. So I recently just watched the Joe Budden, I think it's a season 3 premiere that happened 3 hours ago. Sorry, it debuted or it came out on YouTube. Sorry, I just want to be certain so I'm not giving false information here. So yeah, so season 3, episode 2, featuring Wale. And so I feel like the conversation that they had, not the conversation, but the interview with Wale that they had, and it was very enlightening and um, inclusive on Wale's part, I guess maybe. I feel like, anyways. So I've heard of the name Joe Budden before, but like I never had watched one of his videos before. And so man, he is he asks the hard questions. I don't know if it's probably not a great comparison, but you know what I mean. He's almost like TMZ's kind of like, but more. Oh man, like what's that guy, TMZ's Steve Weinstein or Steve Harvey or something, whatever, the guy, you know what I mean. He asked the questions, in a sense, but like Joe Budden does it in a real sense, that like he asked the real deep, like he said, deep questions, and I think, well, oh man, first of all, the first problem I had with the video was Wale, saying maybe he sold himself short, like, or maybe he sells himself short, like, maybe, bro, for real, maybe. And, for everything that, Joe Budden said, I could, agree with, like, he was right, like he said, I'm not, trying to figure, or I'm not one of you rappers in the rap game, like, for real, it's not about, he's, Wale was giving him, like, the shallow answer. Like, I feel like, he was asking him, and I understand, what I mean. There's probably a lot of things that, what I mean, he doesn't necessarily want to talk about or can't either way, but like, he was asking him, um, in a deeply meaningful way. Okay, so, let's see. Oh, so the first thing, like, for me, even, like, he was, Joe Budden, asked Wale, okay, actually, yeah, so kind of Wale was saying, like, his new, I think it's the song, yeah, his new song, Sue Me. He says in the song, he says, Sue Me, um, I'll still be rooting for, I'm rooting for black, like, as in the sense, like, he, is rooting for black people, which he then says to Joe Budden, like, do you think that, what I said, some people would take to offense? Like, yeah, some people would take offense to that, but I mean, like, honestly, I don't think, anybody in life should take offense to that, because they're wrong. I mean, I even felt like, you know what I mean? Like, um, he was saying, like, he thought it was before, people aren't ready to hear that. Like, honestly, like, it doesn't matter. Like, people don't like to hear the truth. I mean, sometimes, in a sense, you know what I mean? It might be rude, it might be blunt, but it's the truth. And I feel like if it's the truth, if that is your truth, that's everybody, like, you know what I mean? If that's, anybody should speak their truth. So I feel like, and, Wale, for instance, saying, that he didn't think he could go indie or whatever, he wasn't ready for that. Like, you know what I mean? But that's when, like like Joe Budden said, like, do you care about the art, or, you know what I mean? Or you care about the financial, side of it? I mean, I mean, I feel like, yeah, if somebody, like, it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? If somebody truly cares about the art, not that Wale doesn't, I'm not, I love Wale, honestly, he's on my playlist, like, his song on Chill is still on my playlist, okay? I literally have the Love Dot 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 album on my playlist too. So yeah, no, but that's what I mean. Yeah, he's for sure selling himself short, like, honestly, like, like you said, you have a loyal fan base that, you know what I mean, shields you. I mean, first of all, um, it shouldn't even be about that. I mean, what are you trying to be shielded from? If anything, you're shielding, yourself from telling people, like, what it is. Like, I feel I can feel them both on a deep level, but like, I feel like Joe Budden is more real, like real, I guess. He doesn't care what people think, you know, he's not trying to, he doesn't do it for that. I think he does it because, like, you know, he thinks he's a thinker, you know, and I'm not saying that, like, other people aren't thinkers, no. But I mean, there's a point of, like, a sellout, like, or, you know what I mean? Not that oh my god, I would never, I swear that was the most rudest thing, I didn't mean it like that. But, like, it's, like, I don't think that Wally is a sellout, no, but I think that, you know, Joe Budden had a point, you know, or had, you know, like he said, you know, he was asking Wally deep questions, and Wally was, like, you know, sort of putting on a front, or, I mean, you know, so many people in this world, they, you know, they act like who they're not, you know what I mean? Or there's so much goddamn division, you know, and like they were saying, you know, it's like the music industry is like politics, bro. It's like politics is, you know what I mean, the government, society at a large. I mean, they try, it's separatism, right? I mean, listen, when you label people and you separate them at all, I mean, that's the, I mean, that's what causes civil war, I mean, or strife or whatever. I mean, I think, honestly, people are entitled to their opinions, so I'm just trying to get mine out there. But, yeah, for sure. I also watched the Joe Budden, interview with, oh god, who's in the video? I don't know. They were talking about, Kehlani and YG's breakup, and, you know, let's see if I can find it real quick. And so, yeah, Kehlani breaks up with YG, so I don't even know he's got in his video, but, anyways, they're both, like, you know what I mean, like, they're right, you know, Kehlani was sort of like, and I love Kehlani, I also have her on my playlist, but, you know, basically, like, um, you know, like this guy said, he's been a long time Kehlani fan, right, for years. He's like, you know, found out about her in high school, which was really funny, by the way. I'm not sure what his name is, but funny as shit. But, yeah, like, it's, like, she was basically, you know what I mean, like, throwing herself under the bus, like, you know, I mean, not really, I mean, I got their train of thought. Anyway, so, what else did they talk about actually? Well, it's just like it's I think important, you know what I mean, and especially you know what I mean for Joe Budden to be you know talking to Wale in the sense that you know when he's like, well, what have you chosen a single yet? And Wale's like, no, you know, and he's like, well, are you going to you know because of like, or are you going to you know for choose a single like you know what I mean and then I think I don't know if Joe Budden said first or Wally, but then it's like because it's Black History Month. He said because Black everything. Do you know what I mean? I mean when I look at people, I don't see color. Like that's not something that it doesn't even register. Like it's not about you know color for me at all ever. So I think you know why does color matter to any like what makes a person you know like I just don't get it. And so there's also like this cycle, you know what I mean? Like he said, cyclical. Like you know, you um, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure like he was saying like in the rap game or whatever. You know what I mean? These like big names, you know what I mean? They uh, either you know can perpetuate. Yes, it's a cycle. And this sort of ties into the both videos because the other guy was saying like you know what I mean if when you know Kehlani was saying to YG like she'll be your soulmate or whatever, but my love's so pure, but like, you know, I can't love you if you go with your soulmate, like he was saying, you know what I mean? But if you know, if this really was my soulmate and your love was so pure, why wouldn't you know what I mean, want me to be with my soulmate? So that is, you know, and I think oh my God, they totally, like, would they ask him what he had for breakfast or something like that, you know? Like, what'd you eat this morning? Anyways, no, but no, I totally, like, honestly, like, I've never really preached to anybody, but like I'm preaching. I mean, even you know, I don't know who that is. I'm so sorry, but like, I'm not very, I'm not very great with you know names too much. But I feel like you know people around me in society don't necessarily, or sorry, in my vicinity. I'm from Canada, small city. Anyways, not you know close to Toronto, but anyways, smaller city, and like there are not people really here who progressively think like that to me, or at least I haven't found them yet. So I can hear what they're saying. I can totally vibe with them. And I mean, honestly, like, this is not supposed to be like, you know what I mean, an I Love Joe Budden video, but like, no. I mean, he's got some real shit to say, though, honestly, that, you know what I mean, people should be listening to. Like, honestly, like, when, you know, like, it's real talk, or like, it's, like, the you know, the guy who was saying, you know, unconditional love. What is unconditional love? It's loving somebody unconditionally. You know what I mean? There's no conditions. Like, so you love them no matter what. And the video I watched before that was, I think, what's the guy's name? Fucking Adam 21. Okay, Adam 21, the porn star, and my God, please don't quote me on this right now. All right, I gotta watch. What the was it? I think it was the TMJ show, TMK. You know, so confused right now. Just give me a minute here. Yeah, hang on, I'll Google it real quick. Because I just, yeah, I mean, like, the conversation, okay, so that's how I got started on this. Like, I like watching, you know what I mean, like, especially, like, it's like debate, you know what I mean? I like debating because, that's how do you know anybody, you know, what anybody else's stance is or what anybody else believes in unless you know what I mean, debate your point, right? It's like, if you believe in your point so much, then you know what I mean, you should be trying to prove it, right? So, I mean, at least I think that's important to people, or, you know, like, conformity for me, conformity is like, you know, it's like the anti-thema, I think that's the word, the anti-thema to, like, love, you know what I mean? Like, when you're conforming to what people want you to be or what people want you to do, like, what are you doing, you know? Is that, first of all, okay, if you're not conforming, I understand, like, if that's, you know, the way you feel, then that's the way you feel, but, like, at least own how you feel. And a lot of people, too many people in my life, do not, you know, say what they really feel. And I mean, or think, you know what I mean? I can say that, yes, a lot of times I don't tell people what I think necessarily. But that's because people can't handle it. Like, there's something, I think, yeah, about it. Like, Wale, you know what I mean? Like, at the funny, oh my God, it was so funny. At the beginning of the video, oh, I swear, I was, like, dying laughing because, honestly, Joe Budden and, like, Wale, they're trading shots at each other like nobody's business. It was the best thing ever. And, you know, I feel, you know, like I said, Wale's on my playlist, you know, and, Joe Budden, you know, I can feel what he's saying. He's highly intelligent, and he thinks about things. You know, before he asks somebody a question, you know, he thinks about how can I best word this in a way that they will understand. And I think that's, you know, to me, that's like literally probably, I mean, one of the best things you can do. I mean, if you're trying to help, you know, somebody understand something, and I mean, it's not even that you're trying to help, it's just like you're trying to get them to see your point of view. And so many people, like, I mean, I can't even lie, I used to be, you know, so many people are dogmatic, and I used to be dogmatic, you know, even now maybe some ways I probably am, you know, but I mean, at least I know I'm true to myself, right? Like, I might be a little bit rude sometimes. I mean, I tell it like it is. Like, my favorite reference is probably, like, I'm not Willy Wonka, I don't sugarcoat shit. Like, I'll do that for you. I don't do that for nobody. But I mean, you know, people can't handle it, and I mean, it is what it is. I feel you, but, like, I don't know. I can't understand. Oh, this is the best part. But, like, he's like, Joe Budden. He says, like, oh Lord, what was it? He's like, I can't understand when I think it was like rappers, like, you know, you come out and, like, almost like promote, like, you know, it's like a script or like a cue, like, you know, it's like, we're, you know, like, you already got something. What you doing then? Who's, you know, whose views are you, you know, you preaching? If you're doing something, you know what I mean, on YouTube or on, you know, especially if you have that much influence, like, I mean, over so many, not so many, I wouldn't say so many people, but, like, a lot of, you know what I mean, like, Wale has the ability, and, like, he's an inspiration, you know. He was saying Joe Budden's an inspiration. Like, they're both honestly immensely inspiring people to me. Honestly, when you can, and, you know, Wale was saying about how he loved the music, then, like, I get, you know, that, but then it's like, you know, being true to yourself, or, like, you know, conforming. Like, what are you gonna do, you know, if you, like, and like he said, you know, Wale was saying that he could have, you know, he had a record deal, he could have, you know, signed at 25 or whatever, like, and I apologize, I don't know Wale's career history too much. Like, yeah, I think I probably started hearing about him when Unshow came out, but I mean, like, that's been on my playlist for probably, like, almost 2 years now. Wale is definitely one of my favorite favorite singers. Like he's like he said was. I mean, I get what he's saying too, because like what he was saying, like trap music. You know what I mean? Is sort of so everybody's trying to team up with trap, trap music. But like it's not even about that. Like like Joe Budden was saying, like he has, when he sings, like he's sitting there talking to you, like like this industry. I'm sorry. I will refrain from using the N word. I do not mean it in like, what I mean, a disrespectful way at all. I say it like, what I mean. I didn't grow up in Toronto, but you know what I mean. Like, if I say my nigger, you know what I mean. I definitely do not mean it in a derogatory term ever. Like, ever. So, anyways, so like, Joe Budden was saying, you know what I mean. Like, oh, I lost my train of thought there real quick. So, um, uh, um, hmm. Oh, okay. About being like a sellout, and he was saying like he could have signed a deal at 25 or whatever, and like like you're sitting there trying to be one of those, you know what I mean? Like, are you mainstream? Okay, we'll say mainstream. Are you trying to be a mainstream rapper? Like you would, yeah, I get, you know what I mean? Like, but what's more important to you? The money or the, you know what I mean? Or the like, you can do something with it, like, or you can't. And I get, and this is where it all comes down to for me. Fear. This was supposed to be the the point of my vlog today. So fear, it really does. It comes all down to fear. And so I think Joe Budden really did a great job of, for me, amplifying the fact that Wale seemed like he was this person like in life, like for real, but like he was like guarded, like he was saying, are you paranoid? Are you usually paranoid? You know what I mean? Like, and uh, Wale was like, I've never, I'm not. He's asked him like what he's been scared of, and Wale was saying, in business, I haven't really been scared of much, you know what I mean? But like fear, it does. It's like it controls people, and I mean, I would know. I have anxiety. Like sometimes I swear I have like almost agoraphobia. But anyways, another thing, it's weird. Like I'm scared to go outside, but like I can talk to people when there's nobody that I know is watching. But yeah, like fear, it does. It definitely, it, let's see, it's decisive. Fear is decisive, and it's inclusive. It is debilitating. Like when you know what I mean. When you fear, when you give into your fears, you end up selling yourself short. Like you know what I mean. Well, he's had, and I mean at the beginning too, he was preaching like platinum. You know what I mean. Being like it's just being like if that was your goal when you started music, then like then he like Joe Budden was just trying to figure out if he was a real nigga or not, right? Like I mean really. I apologize. I hopefully people do not take this offensively. I'm a little offensive sometimes, but like I mean he was just trying to find out who he was really, and like that's the thing about life, is that I would rather know somebody for who they are than for who they pretend to be. I mean, so like I said, not even respect, I revere both of them. I mean, honestly, like, man, Joe Biden, he's a funny motherfucker. Not only is he intelligent, he's fucking funny as shit, bro. Anyways, sorry. But Wale, you know what I mean? Like Joe Biden was saying, like he, when he sings, and you can listen to his songs, like it's not like there's heart in that shit, bro. Like you feel it. Like, while he was saying he doesn't stop writing, you know what I mean? So is it about, getting platinum hits, or is it about the art? Like, and anyway, so I haven't watched the entire video, but also I wanted to clarify which video I watched by this Adam 21 guy. It was really funny though, anyways, because it was also about the Kehlani and YG breakup song that she dropped on Valentine's Day after her and YG, had, I believe, a song on her album. So I guess it would be her single, or I think that's what we clarified. But yeah, they totally killed it. So it was kind of like slightly talked about in the Adam 21 video. Like, oh my god, I can't remember his name. I'll find it. Here, is this it? No, yeah, this is it. Okay, so it's, you guys haven't watched any of these videos, please, honestly, like, you know, it really just, you know, listening to the first video got me onto another one, and then, you know, I love listening to, people's philosophies, I guess, you know, especially, with the music industry or the rap, you know, and, I mean, I listen to, you know, probably rap, hip hop, R&B, you know, not that I'm sorry, I'm not rolling my eyes at rap, because, like, I did, but, the reason why I'm rolling, guys, I mean, like, what people classify as rap to me is, I mean, you know, it's, like, I don't know, pop is, like, to me, like, mainstream, you know, they're, like, out there to hit, you know, platinum, I mean, and so, it's financial, or, you know, I'm not even, I can't even say that, but, like, it's, you know, catchy, you know, like he said, like, on the radio game, you know, all he knows is pushing a record and, you know, getting it on the radio, and he's like, you know, what's radio, you know, if you are on SoundCloud, like, if you're on, like, listen, how I first heard Ali Gatti, dude, I found him on SoundCloud, and I'm telling you, I mean, I don't really listen to mainstream music or care what people think. You know what I listen to? I listen to what I like. So there's, I mean, we'll just throw a couple names out here. There's like, I believe there's a song called Camelot. There's, I mean, Luke Callie's kind of sort of like, yeah, you know, a little more mainstream. There's, well, what's the guy's name? J.I.? I think his name's J.I. Oh, he's got great songs. But anyways, just like, you know, oh, so the video, sorry, it's, this is probably not the, no, it's not, is it? Oh, no, not that one either. Alright, so all I got right now is, I'm not sure, but it's the only one that I can see the video on right now. It's so from YouTuber No Jumper, or the channel YouTube, it's called No Jumper. So it says Kehlani brutally drags YG in new breakup single. Anyway, so this one's with Adam 21, and I don't know his name. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness, and I feel like I really should. But yeah, so they're talking about, you know what I mean? They're preaching, not preaching. Oh my god, didn't really. So they're talking about, like, you know, monogamy, I should say, and, you know, cheating, and, you know, and that comes back down to the, for me, like, the unconditional love and the fear thing, like, you know, when he's saying, like, this, you know, this girl fucked up, you know, this whole dude's life or whatever, well, not his whole life, but it's just the whole monogamy, you know what I mean, and, like, I don't personally, you know, really believe in, I'm probably on the other side, you know, I don't really believe in monogamy. I don't see, you know what I mean? It's not that I don't believe I or anyone else is capable of it. It's just like, why can't people love everybody? Do you know what I mean? Why do people have to, as long as people are responsible, you know what I mean? And hold themselves responsible and accountable, you know? So to be honest and truthful, like, then what is, you know, the big issue? I don't see. But, yes, there are people who definitely, you know, are on the opposite. Like he was saying, you know, this, I think woman was 10 months pregnant or something, they said, and, you know, you would think, you know what I mean, that the guy had murdered somebody, like, which I just, you know, I mean, sometimes I just think you know, am maybe, you know, I have too many masculine traits, you know what I mean, for most men. No, not, okay, that's going a bit far. I think I have more masculine traits than, like, feminine, or I display my masculinity, I mean, more than my feminine or softer side, but that's my own issue anyways. But so I'm just saying, I could see it, like, on their level, like, either way, you know, and it shouldn't be that, like, either way, you know, we all have masculine and feminine energies. It shouldn't be, like, you know, when people learn to balance those energies and, like, find a happy modicum, like he was saying, you know what I mean, there's, you know what I mean, cheating on your pregnant wife, or there's, you know, being, you know, faithful, monogamy, but there's no happy modicum in the middle, like, so, anyways, I'm just saying, I feel this, and I think a lot of it comes down to, like, fear, you know what I mean, being afraid to be who you are, just, and owning it, I mean, and being afraid to accept people for who they are, I mean, so I try to show people who I am, I mean, in daily life, even if that might hurt their feelings. I mean, I'm honestly, like, a nice person, and I don't ever mean to intentionally hurt anybody's feelings. I wouldn't do that. I mean, there's no point in it for me. I mean, I know what it's like to be on the, you know, other end of it, and I wouldn't purposely do that to anybody. So, I just think I have sometimes pretty, you know, strong views, maybe. I'm a very opinionated, and some people can't handle that. But, anyways, y'all should go look up Joe Budden. Oh man, him, yeah. That's all I got to say. So, this is my second vlog. Hopefully I'll find something else to vlog about next time. I mean, I hope this has entertained you all, and Denver, you're my world. I love you.